What's happening, fantasy football fanatics out there? Ryan Thomas, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Tonight, a very special night. You see me on the left, you see the draft screen for tonight's third Thomas Take Sports Podcast Dynasty Football Draft. And I'm really looking forward to this. We got some new blood in the league, guys that I've known for quite some time as we're inching closer and closer to this draft, which starts literally in 1 minute. So right at 8 o'clock here, 40 seconds from now, we'll be getting started. And the first overall pick in this year's draft is none other than a good buddy of mine, Chris Cornell. We go back quite a few years. He is not of Soundgarden fame, just the same name. And I have no idea what Chris is going to do with the first overall selection. I think it could go in a variety of different directions with this team that he inherited. This is a points per reception fantasy football league. So let's get started. And this is going to be a very interesting draft starting right now. Chris Cornell takes Jackson Smith in Jigba with his first overall pick selection. I'm on the clock here, second overall pick, and my pick is Bijan Robinson. Did not expect to have the ability to take Bijan Robinson with the second overall selection. Jackson Smith in Jigba going first overall. Jahmyr Gibbs going third overall to a great buddy of mine, Eric Ellis. We go way back, of course. And Quentin Johnston goes fourth. Matt Lakes takes Jordan Addison. Or Zach, I'm sorry, Zach takes Jordan Addison. Pardon me. There's been a lot of trading in this. Matt Lakes takes Quentin Johnston. Zach Troutwine takes Jordan Addison. Okay, Johnny Goldsmith, Johnny G, the sixth overall selection. So I give everybody the chance with 3 minutes on the clock. I did not expect the ability to take Bijan with the second overall selection. Chris Cornell going Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm very shocked by that. Johnny Goldsmith with the sixth overall pick here. What direction could he go in? Zach Troutwine has the fifth pick as well as the ninth pick. So I'm very curious to see what's going on with this here. Okay, getting everybody on. Anthony Richardson, the first quarterback off the board. Johnny Goldsmith goes with Anthony Richardson. Zay Flowers goes seventh. And the next pick is a longtime follower. Now, this fantasy league is made up of a lot of the buddies of mine, followers. You could kind of lump them into one sentence as far as who they are and all that. Zach Charbonnet goes with the next pick. Zach Troutwine selecting the ninth overall draft selection. He takes Dalton Kincaid, the rookie tight end out of the Buffalo Bills, and Samuel White, now the reigning champ. He goes in the direction of taking somebody that's going to be interesting. I got a feeling that he's going to go in a very interesting direction. Samuel is one of those outside the box thinkers for a reason, going in the direction that he is going to go in. But Keandre Miller, then he picks back to back, being that this is a snake draft. Okay, he goes Rashid Rice. So now we're on my pick, and I'm going to go in the direction of finding a backup quarterback. Now, I don't have as much confidence in the rookies. So I am actually going with Jordan Love here with my second selection. I really like Jordan Love a lot. I think he's going to do really well. Did not want Bryce Young. Did not want CJ Stroud. We're going back now onto the flip side of things with the 2.3 pick here. Could have gone in a bunch of different directions here, but my plan was to go running back, quarterback. Needed a second quarterback to fulfill that role that was left by the trade, as I made a trade with Kyrie Demos to trade Cooper Kupp and Dak Prescott for a bevy of picks as we get into this round here. So this is fun. This is the fun stuff. We get a very interesting draft materializing. Now, who would have thought that, one of these rookie quarterbacks would not last as long as could I have gone with one of the rookies? I sure could have, but supporting cast wise, I felt like Jordan Love was a much better selection than Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, but pretty startling. I am still a little bit in shock that I was able to land Bijan Robinson after all, with the way this draft has materialized thus far. Jackson Smith and Jigba going first overall, Bijan going second, Jahmyr Gibbs going third. Did not believe that would happen. Devin Achane, Johnny Goldsmith takes Devin Achane with the 5th pick in the 2nd round. Matt Lakes here with the 2nd pick in the 6th round. Running backs are extremely important in fantasy football. They always have been. They always will be. We still see Bryce Young. We still see CJ Stroud still available on the board. I do have a feeling that we're going to see, some of these guys go in a very interesting direction here, as we are only we're drafting rookies mostly. I was the first manager to take a player that wasn't a rookie with Jordan Love, practically a rookie as fresh as fresh could be, with Jordan Love there. Had I had the 1st pick in the 2nd round, I probably would have went in the same direction that Samuel did with Rashid Rice. Then Jordan Love goes after that. Matt Lakes on the clock here. He's got some minutes to spare, as it had to be a 2nd round quarterback for me. That had to be the pick for myself. I had to go in that direction. I got a feeling that as we look through these rookies, it's a huge question as to who will go next beyond Achane, Bigsby, and now Deuce Vaughn. 3 rookie running backs selected in the 2nd round. And now Kyrie Demos picking with the 7th pick in the 2nd round. I have a great appreciation for all these guys that have joined this league this year, and this has been a really fun league to partake in as we enter the 7th pick. All right. This is something. Now, I don't pick for another few picks here. So I'm waiting patiently. That's all you can do at this point. Maybe Love was a little bit of a reach, but I needed a QB2. And I just really didn't like any of these rookie quarterbacks. And I don't think many others did as well. I mean, I'm not the only one to get the fact of the matter, and the fact that these rookie quarterbacks are very tough. They're very tough to evaluate. I just don't know what they'll bring to the table early on, especially in a dynasty format. I felt more comfortable taking Love, and that was my plan, making the trade that I did for Christian Watson. Now I have the quarterback wide receiver combo. I always like to have a little bit of that. But hey, we're at the 3-minute per pick mark, and yet Kyrie Demos has not made his selection. Zach Troutwine with both of his picks. He takes Jordan Addison and Dalton Kincaid. And oddly enough, for the Buffalo Bills, if they had not gone the direction of Dalton Kincaid, had they been able to trade up a little bit into the 1st round, the guy that I wanted for them was wide receiver Jordan Addison. And now he is able to get Addison as well as Kincaid. with his picks. I really like what he did there. Johnny Goldsmith taking the first quarterback in the draft with Anthony Richardson. Nadif Taylor, former wrestling teammate of mine, taking Zay Flowers, a wide receiver that I think is going to have a really good year. And Samuel going the RB wide receiver route. Two quarterbacks selected in this draft thus far. The top players are Bryce Young and CJ Stroud left on the board. Will they go in these picks here? And what can we expect, as we wait for these picks? Chris Cornell, he's got 2 picks in a row, picking at the 9th pick in the second round and then picking the 10th pick in the second round as well. I'm very curious to see what direction he goes in here, as Kyrie Demos is more likely than not timing out here, as he is not in the draft. Time up. So let's see PU auto pick, and it's Bryce Young. Bryce Young going to Kyrie Demos off the board there. All right, I'm going to text Kyrie here. Get him on this here. It's always never fun when that happens. It's never fun. All right, so Bryce Young goes on auto pick by myself to Kyrie Demos, and then CJ Stroud goes next to Eric Ellis. I'm really happy I didn't get either one of them. I don't see it. And Richardson, probably the best fantasy worthy player, quarterback wise, for his rookie year, but I'm at a point where I don't know really what to do in regards to Kyrie not being in this draft. Let's see here. There's always one auto picker. There's always one. All right, Irv Smith from the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's another veteran selection as we go into what should be Marvin Mims going to Chris Cornell as well. He actually gets 3 picks in a row here. .9, 2.10, then 3.1. Try to get Riri Demos in this. All right. So this is what we got so far. Love and Bijan, not too bad for RT. I'm not complaining about it. Not complaining about it at all. Zach Troutline with his first pick, Jonathan Mingo. This was Zach's first pick since he had taken Dalton Kincaid with the 9th pick. Eric Ellis goes Sam Laporta, rookie tight end for the Detroit Lions. Riri Demos on the clock here. And I have to wait this out and hope that Kyrie can hop on here. Let's take a look here, just based on what we're looking at. Okay. All right. Keeping it moving. Matt Lakes. Matt Lakes takes Sam Howell. Johnny Goldsmith on the clock. Now, Johnny's coming off of quarterback, running back picks here, where we would see Richardson and Devin A-Chain. Maybe he'll go wide receiver here. Maybe we'll see Josh Downs, Jalen Hylett, Jaden Reed, John Mechie, Tank Dell. Quarterbacks are hard to come by for this is and I want to keep in mind this is a 2-quarterback dynasty league. So some teams, my team, I only had 1 quarterback. I had Josh Allen. So I needed to get somebody that, obviously was worthy. Jordan Love, I felt like I felt really confident with him for the sake of, my backup. I know I've mentioned that a few times before, but I needed somebody that I felt comfortable, putting in there. And I see him as a very simple version of Dak Prescott. And that's interesting to me. That is definitely interesting to me. Now, it looks like from what I'm looking at now, Kyrie Demos and Chris Cornell are not on. And I want to get them on. Well, looks like Johnny is running the table here, looking to see who's out there. I know pretty much which direction I'm going in. If he's available, we'll see if he is. But man, Bijan Robinson going second to myself. I put myself in a position to get either Bijan or Gibbs, thinking it'd be Gibbs, but I'm very thankful that it was Bijan. Did not expect Bijan Robinson to be available to me at second overall pick, but I'm feeling like Christmas did come early a little bit. Johnny Goldsmith taking my guy. This was the guy that I wanted. Tajay Spears, running back for the Tennessee Titans. A great pick by Johnny G, building up that running back base, getting better there for sure, for certain. Matthew Stafford goes to Nadif. Okay, what direction? I'm getting to my pick here. I got no idea. No idea what direction I'm going in. I'd be lying to you if I said I had any idea. Part of me wants to just see what happens here in case anybody's tuning in. I don't want to give away who my pick might be. Jerome Ford. Okay. So I could go wide receiver here. I could go John Mechie. I mean, or I could even go quarterback with Ryan Tannehill. Let's see here. You know what? Yeah, I need a third stringer. You got to have three. You got to have three. So I got Allen, Love, and Tannehill. Those are my three. I don't have to select a quarterback here at all. Um, don't have to do that. We're keeping it moving. Wide receivers are flying off the board. You got Hyatt, Hodgins, Tank Dell. Now, me, I really am undecided on what direction I'll go in. I know that there's room for quite a lot. Going a lot of different directions here, and I just don't know. Just don't know. Looking at receivers, looking at friggin' defenses. Samuel White goes defense here, takes Josh Downs, then he goes defense. KJ Osborne gets picked here. Yeah, I mean, there's this is hard. It's a lot harder than your normal draft, guys. And I got one pick here, and I got no clue which direction I'm going in. I feel like I got a great base of talent in terms of just depth, overall depth, but at tight end, wide receiver could make a move there, but I don't know. I don't know. Really depends on what Matt Lakes takes with this next pick. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I know there's some moments where it's been tough, kind of there's pauses in the action, but John Mechie goes right before my pick. Okay. So chances are here, I mean, I could go wide receiver. I could go tight end. I feel pretty comfortable that man, it's so tough. So tough right now. Zamir White. I mean, he'd be a good pick if in the event that Jacobs got hurt, but I'm gonna go with Rashid. I'm gonna go with Jalen Reed. I don't know. It's tough. It is really tough. I've heard a lot of good things on Luke Musgrave. I'll take Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave, young tight end. I got Travis Kelce, Cole Kmet, McBride. I feel pretty confident I can put Luke Musgrave in my back pocket as a future. I've heard a lot of buzz about him coming out of camp. Now, really, I got two picks left, and I'm not picking for a little while. So I mean, was wide receiver. I mean, it's really tough to look at my picks. I mean, I got Love, Tannehill, Bijan, and Luke Musgrave. It was very important to get me a good backup. It was even more important to get me a good third stringer. Quarterback, I don't build my teams as a strong suit at quarterback outside of the guy that I have in Josh Allen. My goal was to build my running back base. I made a big trade, trading away Cooper Kupp and Dak Prescott to Kyrie Demos, and I felt pretty good about getting Ramondre Stevenson back in that trade. I have Antonio Gibson. I also have now Bijan Robinson as my RB1. Wanted to build that running back base for the future, and to be able to take Bijan and Love, and I mean, I feel like I built some good depth pieces. Luke Musgrave, I've heard a lot about in camp, and coming up big on that touchdown drive. It looks like he's a favorite target of one Jordan Love. So you see how I'm kind of forecasting the future of the team, whereas you'd have the opportunity here with Love in the future beyond these next 2 years to hit the reset in after year 5 and going into year 6. We're going to be able to see a decent future. Zach Evans goes to Chris Cornell. This was a guy I was looking at, but I can't really trust the Rams. I'm just not in love with the Rams really in any way. Stetson Bennett going to Chris Cornell as a late round flyer. I like that pick a lot. You got to have at least a future plan at your quarterback position. Zach Trotwine now back on the clock. He takes Jake Moody, kicker, the first kicker in the draft that's selected. Jake Moody. Now, I did see that Jake Moody had some issues recently, injury-wise, week to week. So we'll see what happens with that. But when healthy, he's definitely their starting kicker. Eric Ellis now back on the clock with the 3rd selection in the 5th round. He's coming off of a pick and taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've seen 2 defenses go in the 4th round. Samuel White takes the New York Jets defense, which should be potent. And then Eric takes the steel curtain, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now this is a point where we're going to start to see some fun picks take place, kind of flyers, if you will. See which guys really make a big difference potentially. I mean, these aren't picks that you just throw away. These are picks that you do your research on, you invest the time necessary in putting yourself in that position to get a great player potentially at this pick. And was 3 minutes necessary? Probably not. But I feel pretty good about giving people time, especially as we get into these later rounds. This draft is almost over, and we're 26 minutes in. Feeling pretty good about that. I pick in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 6 picks. So we'll see where the board falls to me. I mean, it's scattered, but you see here, Jackson Smith and Jigba goes number 1. Bijan Robinson goes number 2 to myself. Eric Ellis takes Jahmyr Gibbs. Matt Lakes takes Quentin Johnston. Zach Troutwine takes Jordan Addison. Johnny Goldsmith with the first rookie quarterback off the board, Anthony Richardson. Nadif Taylor going with Zay Flowers, the 3rd rookie wideout draft, 4th actually. And then we see Zach Charbonnet go to Shane Courtney. Buffalo Bills rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid going to what my original pick was, of course, 1.9 going to Zach Troutwine. And then Samuel White taking Keandre Miller, rookie running back for the Saints. This is a big sleeper here. Rashid Rice, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. I go with Jordan Love after that. We see Jalen Reed, who I was looking at taking there, going 3rd overall. I thought about taking him. I took Luke Musgrave instead. Want to have a good cushion in the event that Travis Kelce were to go down. I feel pretty confident that Luke Musgrave is a good project pick there at that pick there. So Brandon McManus going to Kyrie Demos. All right. Johnny Goldsmith DeAndre Washington. Let's see here. Is that Darnell Washington? Okay, so this is a 6'7", 264-pound tight end that is projected to have a role a little bit in this offense, but we'll see how that one works out. Now, this is a league where we've got 2 seasons in the league. We had one guy win the league the first year who was no longer in the league. We had a second season with Samuel White winning the league. And unfortunately, this was the second season in which I lost the championship 2 years in a row. So I think Bijan Robinson should be a shot in the arm that this team desperately needed. Hopefully that's the answer. I'll have Bijan for the next 3 years. I'm pretty happy about that. Did not expect that to happen whatsoever. Pretty happy about that. So, I mean, what is the most drafted position this far? It's definitely a mix between what we see here. I think now, as we look at this, you see a lot of blue, you see a lot of green, running back, wide receiver, but 3 tight ends selected in a row. That I did not expect. And now I'm wondering, like, what direction do I go in terms of put myself in the best position future-wise? Because, I mean, is there anyone out there that's worth taking to put on what's called the taxi squad? I don't know. I really don't know. All right, so here we are. Do I go Will Levis? Okay, no. Do I go with a good defense? I don't want to do it. I really don't. I don't want to do it at all. But I did it. The backup D to the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins. I hate the fact that I just did that, but I had to. Now I wait patiently to see who is Samuel White going to take. Whew, man, I am on pins and needles here. Okay, Jake Elliott. Okay, do we go? Man. I just don't like any of these running backs. I really don't. I don't like any of the receivers that are out there. You know what? Screw it. Evan Hall. Okay, so why did I make that pick? I do believe that Jonathan Taylor could potentially be traded. If he's not, in the next 2 days, Evan Hall is a throwaway. I drop him for a kicker. That's really what would have to take place there. Anything other than that, I just thought, you know what? If Jonathan Taylor's traded, I think Evan Hall could be the starting running back for the Indianapolis Colts. I had to take him. at that point. Is there an opening too? There's definitely an opening as well for me to end up with a decent kicker. I definitely think that they're out there. Um, but I got Tyler Bass and I got somebody else too. So my draft is over. It is done. 6 players: Bijan Robinson, Jordan Love, Ryan Tannehill, of course, Luke Musgrave and Evan Hall. Those are the 6 rookies. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, actually, do I have another pick? Oh, Miami's defense. That's right. So I think I got decent guys. I mean, I think I did okay. Still not over yet. I'd like to see what happens here. I would have liked to have gotten Stafford as my third quarterback instead of Tannehill, but I digress. Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver for the New England Patriots, goes to Nadif625. Man, this was tough. It wasn't a tough first pick, that's for sure. But the rest of the picks were the first 2 picks were not hard. I really love my first 2 picks. I'm very happy about Jordan Love being on my team. I think he's going to do really well. Maybe I took a chance taking Jordan Love instead of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, but I could not convince myself to take a rookie quarterback that has a piss poor offensive line, very little weapons. I got Christian Watson on my team. I feel pretty confident that Jordan Love is going to do really well. And I'm just ready to get my lineup filled now. At this point, I mean, I've revamped, retooled my run game with Bijan and Ramondre Stevenson coming on board. I really do want to look at some of the other guys, though, and who they picked. Looking at just the teams that picked picks in a row, I really do like the resurgence that Eric was able to establish with Gibbs and CJ Stroud, 2 young rookie players there. Sam Laporta, Pittsburgh's D, and Jalen Reed. I thought he did really well. Jalen Reed was a guy that I was looking at, but I've heard so much about Luke Musgrave that I had to take him. I just had to. Jaleel McLaughlin, selected by Johnny Goldsmith, running back of the Denver Broncos. Now Matt Lake's on the clock here, wondering which direction that he's going to go in. And really, I mean, I had to auto pick for Kyrie Demos. The Bryce Young pick was auto picked. Wondering if Eric would have taken him had that not been auto picked. We'll wonder that. I'll have to ask him that off the air, off the record. Aiden O'Connell, quarterback for the Vegas Raiders, selected with the 6th pick in the 6th round. Did not expect that at all. Kyrie Demos selecting with this one. We're going to have Kyrie is not selected a wide receiver yet. So he is going to go with Paris Campbell. Justin Ross, wide receiver of the Chiefs, going to Eric Ellis. So he goes 2 receivers in a row. What will be the selection of one Zach Troutwine for his last selection in the 2023 TTSP Dynasty Football Draft? As the clock winds down here, so Sean Tucker out of Syracuse falls to Zach Troutwine, and then the last pick of this draft was the Cincinnati Bengals. So there you have it. It is done. It is over. We can stop sharing now. And I think that's it. Sleeper is so weird. It really is, where you just don't know if it's like done or over yet. But man, I'm pretty happy. Bijan Robinson falling to me. I did not expect that. Jordan Love, welcome back, my man. Ryan Tannehill as well. I got Allen, Love, and Tannehill as my quarterbacks. So yeah, there we are. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, keeping you posted on how this season pans out. Thank you.